Good morning. Look at this plate. It looks innocent, doesn't it? It looks like a perfectly reasonable breakfast, something millions of Americans over 60 eat every single morning, believing they're starting their day in a healthy way. But here's the uncomfortable truth I have to share with my patients almost every day. Some of the most popular breakfast foods in America are silently working against your health after 60, not because they're bad, in some moral sense, but because after 60, your body processes food differently. Your metabolism has changed. Your insulin sensitivity has shifted. Your arteries are less forgiving. Your kidneys are more sensitive. And some of the foods you've eaten for decades, foods marketed with words like natural, heart healthy, and whole grain, are spiking your blood sugar, raising your blood pressure, feeding chronic inflammation, and accelerating the very aging processes you're trying to slow down. Now, if this is your first time joining me, welcome. I'm Dr. Olivia Carter. And if you've been part of this community for a while, you know this is a space where we have honest, evidence-based conversations about your health. No fear-mongering, no fad diets, just the truth delivered with compassion. Today, I'm revealing the 5 breakfast foods I tell my patients over 60 to stop eating, and more importantly, what to replace them with. Some of these will surprise you. One of them is something millions of seniors drink every single morning, believing it's the healthiest choice they can make. And I'm giving you a complete, practical breakfast framework you can start tomorrow morning. So stay with me. This could change how you feel for the rest of the day and the rest of your life. Before I reveal the 5 foods, let me explain why breakfast matters differently after 60. Because this isn't about fear, it's about understanding. And when you understand what's happening in your body, making better choices becomes natural, not forced. When you wake up in the morning after an overnight fast, your body is in a sensitive metabolic state. Your cortisol, your natural waking hormone, is naturally elevated to help you get out of bed. This is normal and healthy. But here's what's changed after 60. Your pancreas doesn't release insulin as efficiently as it did at 30 or 40. Your cells are slightly more resistant to insulin signals. Your blood vessels are less flexible, and your kidneys are more sensitive to sodium and certain compounds. This means the same breakfast you handled perfectly well at 40, that bagel, that cereal, that juice, now creates a higher blood sugar spike, a more prolonged insulin response, more inflammation, and more stress on your cardiovascular system. Over time, these morning spikes contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, especially that stubborn belly fat, elevated triglycerides, high blood pressure, and the chronic low-grade inflammation that we know is the root driver of heart disease, dementia, and even cancer. But here's the empowering part. You can completely change this trajectory by what you choose to put on your breakfast plate, or what you choose to leave off. Let's get into the 5 foods to stop eating and the delicious replacements that actually support healthy aging. Let's start with the one that breaks my heart and the one that gets the most pushback from my patients. Store-bought fruit juice, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, and those superfood juice blends. I know what you've been told. I know the commercials, part of a complete breakfast, 100% daily vitamin C. It sounds so healthy. But let me show you what's actually in this glass. A standard 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 24 grams of sugar. That's 6 teaspoons. A can of cola has about 26 grams. They're nearly identical in sugar load. But the juice has a health halo because it comes from fruit. Here's the problem. When you juice a fruit, you strip away the fiber, the very thing that slows down sugar absorption and feeds your healthy gut bacteria. What's left is fruit-flavored sugar water with some vitamins. Without fiber, that juice sugar hits your bloodstream almost as fast as soda. Your pancreas, which after 60 is already less responsive, has to pump out a surge of insulin to manage it. Over time, these morning sugar floods contribute to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and the chronic inflammation that accelerates aging. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just drink the low-acid or the calcium-fortified version, the sugar is still there. The fiber is still gone. The metabolic effect is the same. The replacement: eat the whole fruit. One whole orange gives you half the sugar, all the fiber, and the full satisfaction of chewing, which signals your brain that you've actually eaten something. Even better, have a glass of water with lemon and eat your fruit whole. If you love the morning juice ritual, try a green smoothie made with whole vegetables, a small handful of berries, and a protein source like Greek yogurt or protein powder. You keep the fiber, you control the sugar, and you actually feed your body instead of just flooding it. Ah, the healthy breakfast aisle. Flavored yogurts with fruit on the bottom, low-fat granola clusters. This is what millions of health-conscious Americans over 60 have been told to eat, and I understand why you believed it. The marketing is brilliant, but flip that container around and look at the ingredient list with me. A single cup of flavored yogurt can contain 20 to 25 grams of sugar. That's 5 to 6 teaspoons. Add a bowl of granola, which most people pour far more than the tiny serving size listed, and you're looking at a breakfast with more sugar than a candy bar. But the packaging says low fat, contains probiotics, and made with whole grains. The health halo is blinding. Here's the deeper problem. When manufacturers remove fat, which they did for decades because we were told fat was the enemy, they had to add something to make the food taste good. That something was sugar. Lots of it. And after 60, that sugar load first thing in the morning sets off the inflammatory cascade we discussed. And that probiotic promise? Most commercial yogurts are heat processed after fermentation, which kills most of the beneficial bacteria. You're getting sugar with a side of marketing, not gut health. The low-fat granola is the same trap. It's often baked with added sugars and inflammatory seed oils like soybean or canola oil. It's essentially broken up oatmeal cookies marketed as health food, the replacement, plain full-fat Greek yogurt. It's rich in protein, about 15 to 20 grams per serving, which keeps you full and stabilizes your blood sugar. It has healthy fats that support hormone production and brain health. The probiotics are more likely to be intact. Add fresh berries for natural sweetness and powerful antioxidants. Add a small handful of raw walnuts or almonds for healthy fats and fiber. If you need a little sweetness, a drizzle of raw honey or a sprinkle of cinnamon. This is a breakfast that actually nourishes an aging body instead of spiking and crashing it. Now let's talk about the bagel shop breakfast. The muffin with coffee, the Danish or croissant on the way to an early appointment. These are convenient, they're comforting, and for many Americans over 60, they're a decades-long habit. But I need to show you what's actually happening inside your body when you start your day with these. A typical bagel, just the bagel, no cream cheese yet, is the refined carbohydrate equivalent of 4 to 5 slices of white bread. Your body converts it to glucose almost immediately. Your blood sugar skyrockets, insulin rushes in, and a few hours later, you crash, tired, foggy, and craving more carbohydrates. But after 60, there's an additional concern. These foods are almost universally made with refined white flour and industrial seed oils, soybean oil, vegetable oil, canola oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess are profoundly inflammatory. Chronic inflammation, as we've discussed in previous videos, is the root driver of heart disease, joint pain, cognitive decline, and accelerated aging. The bakery muffin is even worse. It's essentially cake, a breakfast cupcake with no frosting. A large coffee shop muffin can pack 400 to 600 calories, 40 to 60 grams of sugar, and highly inflammatory fats. You're starting your day with a dessert that's been rebranded as breakfast. And if you're thinking, I'll have the whole wheat bagel or the bran muffin, they're often only slightly better. Most whole wheat commercial breads and bagels are still primarily refined flour with a little whole grain added back for color. The bran muffin? Still loaded with sugar and oil. The health halo strikes again. The replacement. If you love that morning bread or pastry ritual, upgrade it. A slice of genuine sourdough or dense, seeded whole grain bread, topped with avocado, a poached egg, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. The protein and healthy fats from the egg and avocado stabilize your blood sugar. The fiber from the seeds and whole grain feeds your gut. And you still get the satisfaction of a bread-based breakfast, just one that supports your health instead of undermining it. Or, if you want something grab-and-go like a muffin, try making egg cups at home. Eggs, vegetables, a little cheese baked in a muffin tin. protein-rich, portable, and genuinely nourishing. I know, I can hear the collective groan already. Bacon, sausage, ham, and those convenient pre-cooked turkey sausage patties that seem like a healthier choice. For many of us, these are the nostalgic breakfast foods. Sunday mornings, family gatherings, the smell of bacon in the kitchen. And I'm not here to take away your joy, but I am here to give you the information so you can make the best choice for your health after 60. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen. Now, let me be precise. This classification is based on the strength of the evidence linking processed meat to cancer, not the degree of risk. It doesn't mean a strip of bacon is as dangerous as a cigarette, but it does mean the evidence is compelling enough to warrant serious attention. Processed meats contain sodium nitrates and nitrites as preservatives. In the digestive tract, these can convert to nitrosamines, compounds that damage the lining of the colon and increase colorectal cancer risk. After 60, when cellular repair mechanisms naturally slow down and cancer risk rises, this becomes particularly relevant. Additionally, these meats are extremely high in sodium. Just 2 slices of bacon or 1 sausage patty can contain 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium. If you're managing high blood pressure, which affects the majority of Americans over 60, this is a significant concern. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day for most adults, and a processed meat breakfast can use up a third of that before you've even left the house. And those healthier turkey sausage or turkey bacon options, they're often just as processed, just as high in sodium, and contain many of the same preservatives. The turkey label is another health halo, the replacement. If you want that savory, protein-rich breakfast, you have wonderful options. Smoked salmon or lox, rich in omega-3 fatty acids that are powerfully anti-inflammatory. Freshly cooked eggs, poached, scrambled, or boiled. A side of black beans or lentils for fiber and plant protein. Or, if you truly love sausage, try making your own with fresh ground turkey or chicken, mixed with herbs like sage, fennel, and rosemary. No preservatives, controlled sodium, all the savory satisfaction. And finally, the breakfast that millions of Americans over 60 grew up with and still reach for every morning: boxed cereal and flavored instant oatmeal. The cereal aisle is a marketing battlefield, and seniors are often the target. Heart healthy, whole grain, lowers cholesterol, fortified with vitamins and minerals. It sounds so responsible, but let's look at the reality. Most popular breakfast cereals, even the ones marketed as healthy, are 20 to 30% sugar by weight. A serving, and let's be honest, most of us pour far more than the tiny serving size on the box, delivers a significant sugar load with very little protein, very little healthy fat, and fiber that's often added back in, not naturally occurring. The flavored instant oatmeal packets are the same trap with a different wrapper. They're convenient, yes, but they're often loaded with added sugar, artificial flavors, and sodium. One packet can contain 12 grams of sugar, that's 3 teaspoons, and it's highly processed, meaning it digests rapidly and spikes blood sugar almost as fast as the cereal. And those fortified vitamins on the label? They're sprayed on. Synthetic vitamins added to replace the nutrients that were stripped away during processing. Your body doesn't absorb them as efficiently as the naturally occurring vitamins in real whole foods. It's like taking a vitamin pill with a bowl of sugar. The vitamins don't cancel out the sugar, the heart-healthy claim on the box. It's usually based on the presence of whole grains, even if they're a tiny percentage, and the absence of saturated fat. But as we now know, sugar and refined carbohydrates are far more damaging to heart health than natural saturated fats. The low-fat, high-sugar breakfast has been a public health disaster, and seniors have been among the most affected. The replacement: real, old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. These are minimally processed, full of soluble fiber that actually does lower cholesterol, naturally, not just as a marketing claim. Top them with fresh berries for antioxidants, walnuts for omega-3s, and a sprinkle of cinnamon, which has been shown to help stabilize blood sugar. If you need more protein, stir in a scoop of plain protein powder or a spoonful of almond butter. Or try something completely different: a savory breakfast scramble with eggs, spinach, mushrooms, and a sprinkle of cheese. Chia seed pudding made overnight with unsweetened almond milk, a touch of vanilla, and fresh fruit. These are breakfasts that actually sustain you. Steady energy, stable blood sugar, real nutrients your body can use. I'm Dr. Olivia Carter, and I don't want to just tell you what to stop eating. I want to give you a simple framework for building a breakfast that genuinely supports healthy aging. Here's the formula I use with my patients, and I use it myself. Component 1, protein. Aim for 20 to 30 grams at breakfast. This stabilizes your blood sugar, keeps you full until lunch, and preserves the muscle mass that naturally declines with age. Sources: eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, smoked salmon, tofu scramble, quality protein powder. Component 2, healthy fat. Fat doesn't make you fat, sugar does. Healthy fats support your brain, your hormones, and your cell membranes. Sources: avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, nut butters, fatty fish. Component 3, fiber, at least 5 to 10 grams. Fiber feeds your beneficial gut bacteria, slows sugar absorption, and keeps your digestive system moving smoothly. Sources: vegetables, whole fruits, oats, chia seeds, flax seeds, legumes. Component 4, color. This is your shorthand for antioxidants and phytonutrients, the compounds that fight the oxidative stress and inflammation that drive aging. Sources: berries, leafy greens, tomatoes, peppers, herbs, spices like turmeric and cinnamon. So what does this look like on a plate? Here are 3 examples. Plate 1, 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and tomatoes, half an avocado, and a small handful of blueberries on the side. Plate 2, plain Greek yogurt with walnuts, chia seeds, fresh raspberries, and a drizzle of honey. Plate 3, a slice of seeded sourdough toast with mashed avocado, smoked salmon, and a sprinkle of everything bagel seasoning with a side of cucumber slices. Notice something? None of these are boring. None of these leave you hungry at 10 a.m. None of these spike your blood sugar and crash your energy. And all of them are delicious. This isn't deprivation, it's an upgrade. Let me bring this home. The 5 breakfast foods to stop eating after 60. Store-bought fruit juice. Drink water and eat whole fruit instead. Flavored yogurt and healthy granola. Choose plain Greek yogurt with real berries and nuts. Bagels, muffins, and pastries. Upgrade to protein-rich, fiber-rich alternatives that don't spike your blood sugar. Processed breakfast meats like bacon and sausage. Explore smoked salmon, fresh eggs, and plant-based proteins. And sugary cereals and instant oatmeal. Switch to real oats or a savory breakfast with actual nutritional value. Here's the truth I want you to remember. Your body after 60 is not worse than it was at 40. It's not broken. It's simply different, and it deserves a different level of care. Every breakfast is an opportunity, either to feed chronic inflammation and accelerate aging, or to fuel vitality, stable energy, and long-term health. There is very little neutral ground, but you get to choose. Every single morning, you get to choose. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 breakfast foods was the biggest surprise for you? Which one are you going to change first? Drop a comment below. When you share your commitment publicly, you're much more likely to follow through. And when you share your experience, you help thousands of others reading the comments realize they can do this too. That's how we build a community of health. If this video opened your eyes, please hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people over 60 who are being misled by food marketing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm Dr. Olivia Carter, and I would love for you to join this community. We have real, honest conversations about health after 50 and 60. No fads, no fear, just evidence-based information delivered with compassion. Hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a video. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Thank you for taking care of yourself. It matters more than you know. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.